Nyamia do me hoye.
Ede nyamia se.
Kani ebeshe.
Oh, Charlie ebeshe.
Ebeshe.
Yeah, you be them.
Ene me hoye pa.
Okay. Fiifi. Ebeshe.
Chada we.
Be microphone,
Any question, monsieur?
Sir.
David ebeshe.
As my for game no fala bi.
Onye fala but see ebeshe. It's a game, it doesn't have to be fala before so ebeshe. The answer why on your mind is ebeshe.
As a more direct you want too much.
Chada phone.
Aye. O to say moye sa. I be drew na afi e be kona jata ne da ho.
Oh, na so to no nim say we non-negotiable. One in the boys, he knows that this game is a non-negotiable match.
We need to win.
Baby Abu Drew Rich. Like when you say the two teams are almost banging. Ewo the table no so. They are all playing very tough games.
Commons away to Mali.
Yeah.
Only DH.
Yeah.
12 points.
Yeah.
Mali so what?
Mali
9 points. On also said never 12.
On the also 10. Yeah. So that game is a good game for us. No difficult game. Mali last game before this Olusu here. Then there is Madagascar also in that group that's playing.
Oh, yeah, Baba discuss here, no, but first of all, I mean, from war.
Yeah.
Budget on sense, no, what you can be near con, what ye era I acquire Japan.
Yeah.
Kwabe Japan say, or no, on share the timing.
Yeah.
Official transparency and here. I was a Ghana from whom says he can saying, and now a day ball a game, but on only few say the focus shouldn't be Sikanoa, ye de kobo game, no, but the focus should be ye kosha game, no. Utie yero kwambe ni akonso a. Onzo oni minister no enya adwene ne ene ne nya adwene china because the timing of our budget no is so wrong. Ade a chia me am game. Enti as a basa focus ni nyina no ebe budget. Area no no mienu no kakra bi na family game no nkomo.
I think the engineer there oye my childhood hero. Me Corona meaning, and I'm talking about engineer Kwabena Japan. Me Corona meaning, you know. Me mama will always encourage me to listen to Kwabena Japan because he speaks well. I mean, proper gentleman with the things that he's saying. I'm sure the engineer will allow me to disagree with him, kakra. I think say for all of us, there were some slides. Disagreements and you don't encourage and now from time you're upon shoot I've had a lot of calls and I've had a lot of messages from people I'm here close to them, people are far from who listen to the show that express it make us a time and the right thing and as I make us a genuinely minister and I read a message from Rahim to you. Rahim Kofi, hope you're fine. Just that I don't agree with you and your guys about the Black Stars budget slash by the sports minister. Even when the budget wasn't made public for the whole 8 years of the previous government, how many matches did we win? We couldn't even qualify for AFCON. We salute your job, but also our honorable minister, we are resetting Ghana as a whole. Great. The last part on a baby, but I won't take my mind there. So you see, I think meaning of Obiaya when they say, okay, there's a little bit of a disagreement because Unimade. The bigger question is about accountability. Which accountability in a year. In fact, me force 100%. I will not be happy say me no year juma. Na dey be akata sumu mu aso adwuma na me no year. I will not be happy say me no year juma. Na dey be adwuma na year na say hu akire. Enya de papa. So it's important for us to always do it like that. Openness no, very important. Like the engineer can. Rich, I think say ABM and no man come as me. But succinctly, it has been put by Dr. Kwambanyako. So since and I said Dr. Kwambanyako on Kanasi, but last time I met him at the airport, we didn't come. It was just quick conversation straight away. The problem is the timing. There is nothing wrong with their minister here. And you see, so what's here, the Dr. Kwambanyako kind he made mentions of the fact say, oh yeah, sure said the budget wasn't given to the minister a day ago, 2 days ago, 1 week ago. Because he himself Black Stars don't remember this month. So it means about 3 months. I don't know what the modus operandi here with respect to preparation for games. But it means that about 3 months, 2 months, 1 month at the very least, the minister probably would have known. Which at that time, incubating the about out, near Diwon Komo. By the time the players come that they need the focus to go and play, though, then they would have finished everything that they have to do. And Rich Metias here, the argument of the other side say, Abrani and Farmer cannot say. But the counter argument from my end is that Sisia and Nyamia Yadum, the team is performing well. There is good vibes. Maybe in our part of your world, you value psychology. Any the importance of the emotions when it comes to things like this. And yes, small things, but it makes the difference. We are on a good run. We don't want to upset it with Sanyama way. So we could have done it months prior, a month prior, or even weeks prior, which not 2 or 3 days to a game. Crucial game away from home in N'Djamena. No. Anytime when he has idea. So I'm on the side of Dr. Bam Benyako. And so Asima catch me about engineer Kobreje Japan. In fact, engineer goes on and says that he agrees on the other side, say the focus should be about the game. So if the focus is supposed to be about the game, then the money conversation shouldn't have been there. And engineer is spot on. You're making sure say you be oneness, openness, accountability, everything should be done. But in all of that, the focus should not be about money.
And Kofi, me problem cranny. Budget na the command ministry no. Sabi Fiifi, you know me the custodians of the Black Stars.
Yeah.
I'm very stressful for.
Yeah.
Inti Black Stars in the Sikabia, you didn't know.
Yeah.
It's not from the FA.
Yeah.
From a buying.
Yeah.
FA need the budget aba. Or the by minister only what buying tenants no. O si way you feel say you be free sua sabi. Eno ma ye ntimi nka say ye ntimi nkobo game no. Ntimi ma bi wa slash. Ebi wo okra say ye firi mu. Then na see ye nkwan. Senka minister ba you say, look, game na ye kobo sika say ni say de kobo nka ye wie. This discussion ke back and forth game this
the details no.
The
details because Rich I can't go from the devil is in the details. Details no. Because
at the end of the day no. You be say Ghana for whom say born na ye kobo sika say ni say ye finito.
Then ye kone ye ba. We explain, we use ABCD throughout the Black Stars.
If the Sabian is into the nitty-gritties of it, then yes, sir. But a day before the game, you don't do these things. It is over here. Now that I can't be on your a very vital question, say, and Nano Susumina Su. Say a Kobo game against Chad. Now, a child the Cossain, meaning saying, but say Chad the Cossain,
there's a possibility Chad beats me a shame.
Fine, football. Sadia discussing the bending. Are you going to talk about budget? Or what? Answer. Now say ye bien pour maybe the mat team this say. And say game no cry ever change Kobono. Monte Ghana and what discuss
Dr. Banyako is a seasoned football management person in this country. He understands these things. Psychology of players from experience. He gets it. And it is not needed. Like I said, and I have a lot of messages with people disagreeing. Say,
me I know obi kra be di matem. And I'm catching it say. Ebia yasem na ye kan onyante ase. Me tie me pese anytime be a Black Stars kasem should be out there because e minu na taxpayers money and e dem Black Stars. Every for no nyom sika. What I say? And I say every need the bibi command ministry. That ministry feel say sadio of mine yentimi nya. They should tell them. Yentimi nya. But sad discussions near the public. Now a day before a game, crucial times, this I only have a problem. BBN was so man no say, every need to be because no man if you say to me, it is a trouble. We have every right. And see, I know people do matter, you know me, foul.
Oh, say,
me reply, Crana, I owe
we are just expressing your thoughts. Rich, there's no problem.
I'm crying alone now. Aya, budget.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sɛ wotie engineer Kobreje Japan na wotie Dr. Banyako, do you get the sense that any of them is against accountability, say yebu akonta on the budget? So that is not the topic. That is not it. That is not what we are discussing. And yet ye can want some say obi support ya kuntabu na so obi support obi a support ade ti na support ya kuntabu why will you be against accountability and nobody is against it Rich me I am not even enthused about the timing debate in Mpo.
Okay.
Because unim, if the right thing is done, and for one time cry, yes, I know. The effects will be okay if it is the right thing being done. Honorable Kofi Adams by you know. And a microphone this is synonym. Rich. And a better microphone anymore was you. As part of the directive from the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Any leadership or say a free necro. Say yeah national team arrangement biase ye kobo ball and as ye kobo tournament. Me as the Minister for Youth and Sports, I was a mini Ghana man for Bekasa. Namumamu akontabosika yede kwako boss match na anase yede ko tournament no etimi betina hey me dwumadi etietia ene say senior president enhyehyɛ emutie no me baba be di so me ba ye yabo Chad yabo Madagascar Yakobo Unity Cup ye baba be 2 matches against Chad ewa we ni abo Mali on Monday enti Ghana for mumbia masum game na ye kwa kobo no ye ni Chad no akomasika abanya giatum from cabinet na ya instructed the Minister for Finance say onyi se sika no fa man eye $800,000 out of the $800,000 you know. This is the breakdown. Flights, hotel, per diem, bonuses, other contingency costs in ye. Rich, you think Engebe Asemi Baba?
No.
Asemi Ama. And it will have been the same timing, but enko fa yeah be ama. Rich, yanka no krenchire ho. Ade akofa ye aba. Eye the mood na. Any the way he presented the budget vis-a-vis for unwanted reasons he felt say exercise now he needed to present the GFA proposed budget and save face, make people see him as why you may be anti muntio every phone almost win and no mope and make them my test say my yes those details you know and no na frank come on head never know. Rich, me say, second minister no coin and coca say, this is the approved budget. This is the breakdown of it. I am telling you, I can go find Sakasa Bebeni Mada. Na me busa minister no. Because I have already made the point. And your pointer, Oma me 200 times I may change. Say, on pe, and on him, ni tinimupo, asamuntia. He wanted to present the budget in the way he presented it. And for me, I saw him say it was a calculated attempt to say, where would you papa? Rich Anyasa. He's not the first person to read budgets to the public. You see, we have finance ministers. Omu read the budget, I read the media budget in actually. Rich. Have you seen in the same NDC government, Honorable Atoforson, the finance minister, go to parliament and say, Miko, read Ghana, Yako Mabusika for the year. Oba or say, Yako Mabusika for the year, no. My minister started from the agric sector.
Agric for the way.
Agric minister for the Bremi, a budget of $20 million.
And I was mean,
and I'm to tell him, Michigan, which I was here, say, and to pay the research agenda, no, 20 million no more, ye come and ye more 50. Is that the way the finance minister presents the budget? Intimidate, you see, Ghana Hana, rich. Say, Assemble. There are two categories of the discussion. The populist side. Yodium, no. And those who are very, very principled on doing the right thing, even though it is not populist. And but that is the right thing you need to tell them. Ayala, finance ministers are in the past. When they come to read the budget, they tell us ministry by ministry, sector by sector, what the proposed budget was and what has been approved. Rich, they go on direct and tell us the approved budgets. That is what the public interest is interested in. Rich, me say, oh say, and they are very, very familiar with corporate governance. And can yes, sir, and can some we can rich, and can you need 2 seconds on one account? Because the fundamental point then say, Rich, before we arrive at every approved budget, there are processes. There are processes. In some chofona, ye leading the discussion, at every radio station, those in some chofona, if they are about to do any activity, they present their budget to the account office. In the process of presenting their budget, don't they even have the natural feeling say budget here midiko uchu mutai ino obetuchebim obetiti so. And sometimes even for shaggy reasons aduane a unim say abonten your team members munya 50 series plate ibesomo no, you want to cushion it to about 80 because you know say only go 50. The accountant will say, okay, say 15 idea, then I will reduce it to 40 and I say 30. So you cushion it to 80. Then you are able to get your 50 because it then becomes a reasonable price I'll pay. Rich, these things are done. Oh, baby. But you see, they are communicating. Any day, Juma. Any day, is the one. After the internal processes of the pros and cons, the actual work the approving is what is called the budget for the events. And yet the internal processes now and normally what we know as the budget is after the discussions and what will be approved is what we call the budgets. Look, Rich, Makasa Semuya for years. Within the last 2 years, some of my colleagues, journalists, and they also start running the same narrative. Rich, budgets are F4 at the Comma Ministry. Budgets are Ghana for you interested in when it comes to national team. Say 20 billion in po and they are approved. The process of the spending is strictly done by the ministry.
I feel phone just come.
A typical example. Say young father say, and I have said here now, say $5,000 for food here at the Braka. But Rich, even if that was approved, even if that was approved, there is nowhere the ministry will give $5,000 to the FA. Say, Monje. Na fuwa na mo say $5,000 na beso na mo fanto. That is not how you spend government money. Rich, the process of the spending, and I say the purse holder from the ministry will hold the money.
What team no omu tu kwan ministry no. You nipa honest kan kuta no.
Who hold the money tio?
Ye koto ya wo the receipt ba na ya
Yes.
diska.
Na ye duru baby a ye koto ale na. Ye bufu oni gumwa. Purse holder na tiaka agi receipts for accounting purposes. There is nowhere in the spending of the national team. Aye sika from abai ho. Edema FNI say J. So I say they say na ne bone tie dia and agi na kutia. It is not done anywhere, even including hotel bills ni bibia. Until sometimes no cry bi o ha because of entropy for a long time. It is very difficult for more mutio to accept. Say some now can and this sanity there. And you know we've had a certain narrative for a very, very long time. It is no cressa. You see, Rich, finally, Sanko Fombo Gidi say Ayala the awoken in an etasumu, but unim. Your point is that even though we know the processes of spending, and Kofoni buyen a sika because they connive omumi enu no aye the FNI ministry no omu jitum no omasesa ho say na be ombe bu Ghana for no medi omusika. Rich, if that is the case, say as our perception that Ghana for a team enti na de bia we are upbeat about blasters budget ni ade dia. Rich, who then do we blame? If the perception out there, say, ampa ministry for no more coin, na omu kunavi with the FA to say omube broti budget, no, na omu this can be a bottom. Rich, then there is only one place as a citizen of Ghana. There is only one place I can go and blame. It is the government and the ministry because, Rich, Samekotuaba every 4 years on the 7th of December. Now you go through that process now. What we do, and they say we entrust the resources of this country into the government that wins the power. And in the next 4 years, make a change and say, me taxes are metia. The resources are all Ghana memu hani nyinano. Onu and taking control. Now on managing money. Rich, say otsina ho. Emma will be free baby. And in the best home. Na omu buyen edi esika na eye onu na me blame no that is the issue.
Even so na ye game ne ho enkomo nyame adoma ene 1 p.m. na obi man so Jamina 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier child Ghana and so ebetimi about channel so say your group one no ye bo wi Madagascar bo Central African Republic enu anwumre 4 p.m. Amubonu wiane enyumre nonson Mali enso atenefi nomo atwen eye Comoros na yeko game na anu otuado ene centrofo ehia first odinkanka bibi edefa eye child team na ene ye nomo ebo enso ebo omo ankasa krumu no na de kan otuado so atete samanfo so actually the Whipping Boys we are so movie into a kind of a training game bigger yeboni ye dia prepare kwan ababo Mali game on Monday abekoso awo the Accra Sports Stadium otuado say child for no moment direct wo na yes sir bibi betimesi into no.
Yeah, sure. Anything else doesn't make sense. We have to do our homeworks now here in Chad. We have to win this match to keep those who are behind us at least with the same points behind us. And if we are a little bit lucky, we can even extend the points. So we have to do our homework, and the worst thing we can do is to underrate Chad. I hear a lot of people talking about Chad as if they're not that good, and yeah, it's an easy win. People are already talking about the World Cup, but I think this is the biggest mistake we could do, to underrate a team, to think we have already made it. No, it's hard work. It's going to be very, very hard tomorrow. It's going to be hot. It's an AstroTurf. It's a different terrain. They are at home. The fans will be cheering for them. So it's going to be difficult. Nowadays in football, there are no more small teams, and I know that surely if we get an early goal or so, it can be easier, but in football, anything can happen. And like I said, we don't have to underrate them. We have to be focused, we have to be concentrated, and we have to believe in ourselves.
Okay, and the coach to the head of your child game, no? And I say, yes, or no, be I doing a group in the they are the hipping boys. But they say African game, a mini pa. And Obia onim game no some no new coach, new venue, new set of players the new coach ball no so afefe ni na no feel say ni na no enso ebe play vital role in any game any air child for no enso ebe bo no o say ebe ye mistake se Ghana ebe andare tu omo yes sir ye dey ankasa we are doing that on our own peril and also ebe to me aye on mine na ojide so ne mrante they are well focused and omo any child game no omo so ebetimi akwago pama no so no mabo game no edi ama aye Ghana na owie ye no na oso obibi kakraka edi fa pitch na enne ye bebo so aye game no yenti otuado e wo child for no pitch no eso.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm surprised that CAF allowed this pitch for an international match. The pitch is really, really not good. It's very, very hard. So for the players, it's like playing on concrete. But yeah, what can we do? We have to take it as it comes. And we are prepared. We observed everything today. Like I said, it's not a good AstroTurf, to be honest. Nowadays, there are far more better AstroTurf, which are also much more healthier for the players. We are excited, looking forward to that match. We know it's gonna be tough. To play away in Africa is always tough. Now, also under these circumstances, it will be different because the players are not used to play on artificial grass. But let's see. I think we are mentally prepared, and like I said, the boys look good and sharp on the pitch today. So yeah, I'm looking forward for this match tomorrow.
Okay, enti otuado say no amkoye training our park ne so no. Observation kakro ye and say I AstroTurf for say a new stadium and na amosi AstroTurf. Na I say so den. It is said you ugina concrete so no. So den pa. Na say the enemy in place dodo na no. Abobo abuchi omo ye known to aye grass. Aso no mbobo. Enti we na ya artificial na enso no sa e den no. Eno ene ade ba ko a ogidi se be high team no se eno nwa se CAF fo team G2 se yembo international game awo but ni na mu no game ni de ede a ebeba so ntino ne mrante no omonso mentally omonso asake omo prepare omo very very well omo edi ewrem nyame adoma enawia 1 p.m. ebra ene Chad enso ebo nti ahonsam no ena yetimi Adi amamu Bismarck Ochiben Ayala. Mama cha se free ho.
You see, yama ye tie frontiers here. Stadium na ekobobo no. Eno na se wo share e wo YouTube in share TV a. Hunu fe. Stadium ni din e de Stade Olympique Marshal Idriss Déby into ewo in Jamina. Stade Olympique Marshal Idriss Déby Itno and a dia a that stadium so now a one of stadium I see across the world around 150 by the Chinese now a part of China for omo policy bia omo for stadium diplomacy nti eyo omo ankasa ena aye omo ankasa research ena omo si o ye wo 150 venues bia ye beki ekosi stadium eche omo for diplomacy purposes ebia ye kosi amomo na yeso so we say no for omo fade enchekwa but on the face of it the policy is that ye stadium no na ye ache nti se won who says Chad e was 9 stadium na. That is the background to why they have that. And yet country nankasa sika China and a SC at their chair omo. Now Rich, when I did my research and found out this, miyamu sheme say Cape Coast Stadium here can one because China phone is my. But a board that's Ghana rich. It may be BIO, but that is just by the by. Rich, Enra, I made some calls to Chad even before Tuado Bekasano. And the first worry the Pakon raise and say, Ayala, pitching is doing too much.
That is a concrete.
And will be a complaining. Players, coaches, will be ordinary subia a complaining. Say, Tuado, and the first statement, and they say, I don't know why it has been approved. Look, Otto, Africa has a standard of inspection. We are more of the and not the quality of Adiana. Because Sanka, if they've tested the hardness of the pitch, they would have raised issues. I'm saying a better place when Omobesi Akan was one. No, Rich, men come and inquire. We have to be careful. After knowing the state of pitch, but for we also have to pray. Say, no man, NC. One, enko prepare players, and two, enko my players, no go nine. But Rich, the good thing, and I say, even though you get to say, yeah, more players are, or more foreign base, Even the local players of Chad, South Stadium, I can once me, Rich, or Mumbo or Hoda.
A new stadium.
And the FNA never got Tiano, and even them, no, or Mumpono, they will feel the effect of our pitching city. The only difference is say, yeah, players number feeling more because they are coming from more of a professional base standard. And that is what we are expecting. Rich, yeah, adjusted. Now within the 90 minutes, the betting free game, the free me and Famra. Me the betting no. The states now pitch the woman there. Yeah, adjusted. Now yam within the 90 minutes, yam wanna send you betting me abono. Now yam 3 points, na yam Famra. A drew whether we are is a must win here. I think so when we get to the tactical border, yeah, proper analysis into the game, And when we will draw all the inspiration of a must-win, how you approach a must-win game away in Africa, how any child a boy some months ago, how you say the we as a weakness and also a pounce on BM Rich, it will come in my next submission when I go to the tactical board and discuss the game proper.
Also bring my pitching issue, but before no said the new stadium. A new coach in Raul Savoy on the ne original chart for the bench then almost answer our new kits 14 sport wear and entirely new place and now my friend on the bobo game we almost say ticket no everyone's on being free I'm a ticket ni biama Krumo for no so no etimi akwa game go until
Rich, I think for me it's about the focus on the game. AstroTurf is an AstroTurf, but any idea the players they who be there. For most of the teams, in Europe, they don't like AstroTurfs because at the end of the day, AstroTurfs Emma win the best out of.
I'm say pre-prep players.
I don't know, too hard and flexible and affecting muscles of the players. No, it's good say we know this. It means that we are going to be careful. I think one other thing that's going to be very critical part in terms of game, is going to be time at Chad. And if you check the time difference between Yen and Chad, it's going to be a huge factor because it's a pack no swording. Nasa osansu heater. It means that pressing intensity crab a from. So how do you manage your pressing intensity? How do you manage that plus the weather of the place with respect to your friend is saying the playing surface something that is very important. But Rich, to be very honest, I don't expect anything different. I think that regardless of whatever the playing surface is, it's a game as yet. And may call tactical board. So we'll delve into the nitty-gritties of the game tactically.
Sure.
And then this uncommon there.
Okay, so at this point, unsu betimi do message no about our YouTube Nhyira TV na ya kenkan enso edi ama awie ya na game no eba so ye ne chado prediction and saying Fabras say na menkan emfama na fe yenko tactical board no so ye nin common kakra be ne me be lines rintam na monso ma be chama dwen e wo dwumade no so Lawrence Apio say Charlie there shower for cry will score them. I don't know to how to say mama kasa. Yes, we do that on our own peril. Okay. I say if the focus should be about the game, then drop the budget topic and focus on an afternoon game. Okay. I think that's your opinion. I'm saying can in no budget. Also bet me the prediction in the aba. Na yakin and so etimi at the ama Dixon okay. I say Ayala, you know the number of stadium the Chinese built, but you were not able to find out which countries those stadiums were built. Yet you are playing a devil's advocate adding Cape Stadium. Okay. Announce the message or the Abraham and no prediction is saying ahead of the game. Na Fiifi Manfred and Sati yen tactical board section no emfa emaina fi yen jadi aka no mama na so ma chama dwen emfa ayedwumadi no enso asomesamo me ye ton car ye ton e car na car no Hyundai